Okay.
The recording is in progress.
All right, thank you so much. You're welcome, everyone. This is World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity here in Nigeria. We are on a 3-day Martin Luther King Jr. public lecture book launching conference. The one was yesterday when we talked about quality education. And today we are going to do more about Teachers and Students Day. So you are all welcome. We thank and appreciate all who participated in our program yesterday. And today is another wonderful day. And today as well, we are going to commence with the United States Anthem before we proceed further in other of our programs. I remain the host. Chaplain Dr. James Mercy or Batomebi. As we progress, please stay tuned with us and God bless you. We are going to start right away with the national anthem. Just a minute, please. Now we are set to take the US anthem. Just a minute, please. Now we are set to take. The square away throughout the
Chaplain Dr. James. Hello? Hello? Chaplain Dr. James, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, the US. Okay, can you, if you can hear me, the US national anthem.
We can hear you.
Were you able to get that? Chaplain?
Thank you so much. The network is really not friendly.
Did you get the anthem? Because it seems I was the only one hearing it.
I could hear it.
Okay, that's all. That's all right. Okay, we can proceed. Chaplain Dr. James.
I can hear you now, please.
Yes, please. I was going to say, if we don't have to follow the program, we have the list of speakers, so we don't want to waste anybody's time. On the list, we have.
All right.
We have we have Gabriel Adesoto, and we have Ellen Turner. So in that order, they're around now, so they can give their speech, and then we can do the rest while the others join, because it seems your network is bad, so we cannot have videos displayed. We'll send all videos to participants. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. We have very much delay because of the network that is not friendly today. But we know we are here already, and God will help us through. So officially, we want to welcome everyone that is joining us today all over the world, from United States of America, United Kingdom, from India, from Italy, from Nigeria, and all over the world, from Sudan. I can see my dear brother Sulaiman. So it is a great pleasure having you on board for this day 2 Martin Luther King Jr. public lecture and book presentation. So thank you so much. Please endeavor to unmute yourself, please. If you are just joining us, unmute yourself. And Krista Butler, please. Thank you so much for joining us. We are commencing right away. We have Ms. Abidoba Oyeneko. Here we're going to have her. Then Dr. Yewande Okunore. Then we have Ambassador Claire Tuna. She's going to talk, she's into youth monetary strategy. And we have Dr. Ade Fiseso. She's here, he is here with us too. So we're going to listen to him as well. We have Mr. Akpata in our list here. Mr. Akpata, if you are here with us, you are welcome. And we have Oluwatoyin Joseph. If you are here with us, you are welcome. I'm just listing out the numbers of our guest speakers for today. And Dr. Thomas Tage, you are highly welcome as well. So thank you for joining us. And we are going to do justice to everything needful right away. So we are commencing and starting from Dr. Yewande Okunore as our chief speaker for this 3 days program. So thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can see and hear me. If you can you see and hear me?
We can hear you, please. Go ahead, please.
Yes, we can.
You need to have somebody to admit yes, because there's no. So
we're doing that.
I'm Dr. Yewande Okunoro Yekeno. Today is Teachers and Students Day. As you can see, that's what the inside of a brain looks like. And for those who can see it on my head, this is what a brain looks like. So if you, thinking of considering medicine, this is how we teach students now. We don't take them to anatomy lab. First time they see a brain is in, a corpse. So this is what the kind of toys we are creating. So I started when the Nora Medical Research. Last year alone, I wrote about 10 books, one magazine, 9 books, and then 1 calendar. So I'll just go quickly to the book. This is a science magazine, and yesterday I announced the winners. Glenn Turner is going to get 10 copies for his youth, and Mr. Zimiso in Singo is going to get 10 copies as well. So we are going to have like a competition, Rivers of Africa versus Space Mission, where students will be competing. We see whether those are at space and those on land or on sea. You know, it's a science fiction movie, but it's based on the true life story of scientists. That's why we first started with writing the magazine. This is the female neuroscience researcher, and I mean, and she pretty, but teenagers don't want to go to biology class. This is what they're looking for, magazines. So when they open it, you know, and they have role models to look at, you know, so we gave ourselves like things. So the teenagers can call me Ade Diwura. That's why I'm Captain Ade Diwura. And my vessel is a plane. My vessel is a plane. So it says vessel number 001 Ade Diwura, ready to depart. The second scientist is from Ghana. I'm representing Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether Nigeria are home and abroad. It's just that when we are at the United Nations, everybody, you know, you have to pick only one flag. So the second person is a neuroscience male researcher. He got his PhD at the age of 26, and he has his own science engagement as well, just like as I'm doing now. He's GH scientists from Ghana came together. So having a PhD at the age of 26, you can imagine. But one thing I will tell you is he used to play basketball for his university when he was in school. So it's not book. That's why we are here to teach the teachers. You know, we train teachers as well, because you might be a teacher and maybe you have just a BSc. It's not that you must have a PhD. It's just being innovative. So that's why we came up with this program. So I was hoping the kids would be able to join us because the reason why the other speakers are there is so that they can tell them the importance of science, technology, engineering, and maths. But since, let me see who we can start with, so that it will be a program that we'll all benefit from. Because I had already presented yesterday and people had already seen what I had. And what I have is actually dedicated to children in US prisons. And I believe that children in US prisons are not here. So I can carry on, Chaplain, with that while we wait for people to join, if you give me permission. So my presentation is for children in US prisons, confined spaces, mental health units, boarding schools, detention, you know. So do you give me permission to carry on so that the teachers can see it and then take it back to their county clerk, you know, prison warders? That's what we want police officers to see it and make a syllabus for them in prison to have something to read. So they too, they become scientists like their peers. So can I carry on?
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
So I had my 40th birthday in July last year. So that's when I came up with this Captain Ade Diwura movie. So if you are not being taught in class, the way you teach children in classrooms is different from the way you teach, you know, children in mental health and other sectors that are suffering. Why we are celebrating them is because during the pandemic, people found it difficult to stay at home. Just stay at home. Everybody wanted a reason or something. Okay, maybe I should go and work as a nurse. At least I have a reason to go to work every day. But children in prison, mental health, their life has just been, you know, locked down all the time. They get angry when you don't let them go out. I mean, being somebody who's worked in mental health as well. So you can imagine they were the only ones that have been obeying because they are used to it anyway. That's why we are celebrating them. We're also celebrating military sciences. That's why we had all the parade yesterday. So we wouldn't be having parade today. It's just celebrating children in prison. So I will start now. And if you are an ambassador, because I can see some ambassadors, I won't mention names, or you are in government, try and change your state and make sure that children in prison, mental health, boarding schools, they are also, not deprived, especially of healthcare, because healthcare workers do not want to go to prison. So that's why AHIABGA-TV's lecture is access to healthcare for children in US prisons. There's no need playing it on Facebook. It will be sent to participants. So I will start, dedicated to children in prisons. My 40th birthday in quarantine. Chondroblast, 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 and osteoblast, chondroblast, and osteoblast. Two cells making up cartilage and bone. Chondroblast, osteoblast, chondroblast, osteoblast. I say chondroblast and osteoblast. Two cells making up cartilage and bone. Chondroblast, osteoblast, chondroblast, osteoblast. I say chondroblast and osteoblast. Two cells making up cartilage and bone. Spirogyra, spirogyra, hey, spirogyra, spirogyra, spirogyra. Hey, spirogyra is an algae. Ukankara division, division. Division tallow fighter, a kingdom, kingdom, kingdom plantalia spirogyra is an algae, ukankara, division tallow fighter, kingdom, kingdom, kingdom plantalia, chondroblast, osteoblast, I say chondroblast and osteoblast, two cells, two cells. Two cells making up cartilage and bone. Kimakusajo, 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 BFE, Mumidele, Kimakusajo. Hey, oh, I shall not die. Oh, I shall not die on Vietnam soil. Take me to New York, it's a point of entry. Oh, I shall not die, I shall not die, I shall not die on Vietnam soil. Take me to New York, it's a point of entry. Do you know your cations? Seniority, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, and copper, mercury, silver, and gold. Do you know your cations? A, seniority, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, and copper. Spirogyra, A, spirogyra, O, gyra. Spirogyra is an algae. That's for children in US prisons. How about those in Africa? How do you teach them? There are some rivers in Africa. There are some rivers in Africa. Hey, so we are going to use them like a map. This is the north of Africa, the south, the east, and the west. From what I say, I think I'm right. North, south, east, and west of Africa. There are some rivers in Africa. There are some rivers in Africa. There are Nile, Niger, Senegal, Congo, Orange River, Limpopo, Zambezi. There are Nile, Niger, Senegal, Congo, Orange River, Limpopo, Zambezi. There are some rivers in Africa. There are some rivers in Africa. There are Nile, Niger, Senegal, Congo, Orange River, Limpopo, Zambezi. Now, what if they are on board? When some people look at posters on the plane and they go like this, they think they are, making drama for them. So this is why this is important. In Africa, we use rivers. So if there is a plane crash, for instance, and we are North Africa, the children know that, oh, if the plane crashed in North Africa, this is how I used to go. Zambezi River, maybe I'm close to my area, South Africa, River Nile, River Niger. So in this science fiction movie, it's not a real plane crash. That's why it's science fiction. So in the movie, I'll just show one clip because I don't want piracy. So when I go for the last time, I'm going to my cabin. Nobody disturbs Captain Adediwura when she's busy. Now, for the last time, watch me. North, south, east, west. There are some rivers in Africa. There are some rivers in Africa. There are Nile, Niger, Senegal, Congo, Orange River, Limpopo, Zambezi. Scientists, I've tried my best. Plane about to crash, but I think we're in North Africa. North Africa, I've seen a river nearby. River nearby is River Nile. Scientists disperse. Nile, Niger, Senegal, Congo, everybody. Thank you.
All right, let's put hands together for that. Thank you so much, Dr. Yewande. That's so lovely. I think teachers should understand what she has just done, especially the primary school teachers. They know that to teach the teenager, you have to demonstrate, you have to put some drama, for them to understand. And that's why some words or letters we do put it in song for them to really get the spelling, or for them to really know what we are talking about, or to remember fast. So she has just shown us the example on how to take teenagers on education. So thank you so much, Dr. Yewande, for this knowledge you have just passed through, and this your drama you have just shown to us. So thank you so much. And it's good to know that this program is 30-day program, and today is the second day, which has to do with teachers and the students, the teachers and the students. So do not be surprised seeing Dr. Yewande moving that way. It's because today is for teachers and the students. So thank you so much. I want to know if Ambassador Glenn Turner is available, the CEO of Spring Motion. Today we want to listen to him because the youth has to be monitored. So today is going to take us to youth monitoring strategies. So are you with us, Ambassador Glenn Turner? So I can see you. Thank you so much for coming on board, Ambassador Turner. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you? So let me start off by saying good morning to some, good afternoon to others, but hello and welcome to all. If we didn't get the privilege of meeting yesterday, my name is Glenn Turner, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of a 501c3 nonprofit here in Hercules, California called Promotion. I partner with Dr. Yewande, and what we're doing is we're actually mentoring our youth. Our teens need mentorship. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a brief overview of youth mentoring strategies. So give me 1 second while I share my screen. Can you all see my screen? All right.
Yes, we can see that.
All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about youth mentoring strategies. So the topics of discussion today is, I'm going to run you through what is a mentor, why is mentorship important to our youth, best strategies to connect with our youth, how you can get involved, and lastly, any questions that you may have for us. So let's dive right into it today. So what is a mentor? A mentor is a person who can support, advise, and guide you. They typically take the time to get to know you and the challenges that you're facing. And then they use their understanding and their personal experience to help you improve. So a question for you. Why is mentorship important to our youth? Do we have any youth that's on board right now? Do we have any youth that's online? Awesome. Okay, Mr. Gabriel, I appreciate you. So just in the chat, I want you to interact with me. Tell me, why is mentorship important to you?
You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself to answer the question, please.
Okay, cool. For guidance. Okay. So why is mentorship important? One of the reasons why mentorship is so important is because having a mentor helps children and young adults learn new things. Mentors are usually older than their mentees and have more experience in specialized areas. Through mentoring, they can use their experience and knowledge to help mentees learn new things, gain new skills, and grow as a person. Mentors also provide their mentees with advice and guidance to help them figure out what they want and how to achieve it. Similarly, if there's something a mentee is curious about, or unsure of, they can always ask their mentor for advice on that matter. This can help keep mentees on the right path and avoid making any critical mistakes by getting involved with things they don't understand. Another reason mentoring is so important is that it allows mentees to feel seen and heard. Growing up is a difficult time and full of change that can include things like peer pressure, bullying, and exclusion. However, with a mentor, mentees can feel accepted, comfortable, and seen, since their mentor offers a safe and judgment-free space. And last but not least, mentoring is also essential because, mentees gain support and encouragement. Mentors want their mentees to succeed in whatever they do, so they provide support by encouraging them to keep pushing toward their goals, as well as by providing feedback on how they can improve. This is an invaluable as mentees aim to become better in certain areas and continue to strive towards their aspirations. So my next topic is, how can you get involved? How can you as a youth get involved? Well, there are several school programs that you can actually attend. These are like student-led clubs, peer-to-peer clubs, peer-to-peer mentoring. There's also several church organizations. There's a lot of community groups, things that's like feeding the homeless. There's things you can do like stage plays, car washes, or my favorite is do a tech support day to, where you reach out to all the elderly and you show them how to work their phones, their tablets, or how to use the internet. And last but not least, you can always partner and volunteer with nonprofit organizations. There's several organizations, there's several people that's right here on this conference that you can partner with today that will actually help you grow and mentor. So the last thing that you can do is get social. We know our youth is so involved in social media, but why is social media so important? Well, social media gives you platforms in which your youth can instantly connect with each other. So us being right here on Zoom, Gabriel and I were able to connect like instantaneously. I asked you a question, why is mentorship important to you? You were able to instantly connect with me. We can also have support groups to show you guys that you're not alone when you're facing any problems or issues. There's several groups out there where people that's going through a lot of the same situations that you're going through that can offer advice or suggestions on how to navigate through these difficult times. This also creates an outlet for our youth to be able to express themselves in non-judgmental environments. Sometimes us as parents, us as leaders, us as adults, we're not the easiest people for our youth to talk to. They need an outside source, an outside opinion, an outside ear that's not going to judge them or make them feel like they can't come to you, talk to you, and express how they feel. And last but not least, and I think this is the most important one, using social media gives you an opportunity to uplift and encourage peers all over the world. Just take a look at what we're doing this morning. You got people on here from Sudan. You got people on here from India. You got people on here from the United States. You can instantly connect with people all over the world by just joining into your social media. Now, how do I mentor some of our youth? One of the biggest things that I did is I've taken to t-shirts. So I do motivational t-shirts like the one I have on now. Why accept failure when success is free? So I have a lot of motivational t-shirts that I put out online on livebystshirts.com, where you can actually see some of the stuff that we have to provide motivation and inspiration for others. One of my favorites is the Step Into Your Greatness. As you see, they don't know what you don't show. Young people, you have so much talent, so much ability. You are so powerful, but guess what? The world doesn't know it if you don't show it. They don't know what you don't show. Look, you have something special about you. You were authentically and beautifully created. No one else in the world has what you have. So all your talents, all your abilities, everything that you have, take from it what you need and give the rest away. Because trust me, somebody needs what you have. And today, you guys, I'm feeling very generous. I'm feeling very generous. What I want you to do, I want you to follow us on social media. Right now, if you go to Instagram, excuse me, if you go to Instagram, you will see our flyer for our conference today. On that flyer, all I want you to do is simply comment underneath it, tell your story, and follow us. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna randomly select some of you to receive a Live By bag. In my Live By care package, there's t-shirts in here, there's wristbands, there could be gift cards in here. Oh my gosh, there's books in here. Dr. Uwande, I'm gonna put your book in here. I'm gonna send it out to some of these youth. Look, listen, guys, I want to get you guys telling your story. I want you to tell your story. The best thing for you to do, like I said, is reach out, connect. Like, I'm here for you guys. I don't do this for me. This is all about you. If nobody has told you guys today, I love you, I care about you, and I believe in you. You guys are the reason why I wake up every morning and I do what I do. Every morning I jump online and I post a motivational post to encourage and to inspire and to empower you guys to be the best version of you possible. If you need anything from me, guys, call me, text me, email me, smoke signals, carrier pigeons. Hell, you can fax or page me. I am here for you. Listen to me. I need you to do 3 things for me. I need you to do 3 things for me, and I'm gonna get out of here because I want to respect everybody's time. I want you to do 3 things for me. What I need you to do is I need you to be aggressive. I need you to be aggressive. I need you not to be afraid to step on those toes, flex some muscles, show some teeth. I need you to be aggressive when you're tracing your goals and your dreams. I also need you to recognize, like, your opportunity for greatness is right now. That means no opportunity is wasted. If there is no opportunity presented, then it is your job to create your opportunity. Guys, the sky is the limit. You can have anything that you want. And last but not least, bring that swag that only you have. Because like I told you, only you have that. If you walk into any room, any situation on fire, if you're pumped up, you're motivated, it's going to trickle down to me. It's going to trickle down to everybody that you meet. And trust me, guys, you have that power to change the temperature, change the weather. You can be whoever you want, whenever you want. Like, guys, this is my time. Like I said, I am here for you. Anything that you need, please reach out to me. I am here. Let's connect. Let's get busy. Let's get work to do. We got a lot of work to do. Let's get it. Once again, I go by the name of Glenn Turner, Mr. Promotion, as most of you call me. Connect with me on all social media sites by typing in @Promotion and I will appear. Guys, thank you so much for letting me have this opportunity to speak to our youth on this platform. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited. I am so excited to be a part of this, and I cannot wait to do this again next year. Thank you. That's my time.
Thank you so much. Let's have our hands together for Ambassador Gletone. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation we just have here. It's quite a wonderful and a great presentation. Thank you so much. If you're having any question for Ambassador Gletone, please just put it down in the chat box. When it's time for question and answer, he's available to answer your question. He's available to answer your question. Your first question, Ambassador Glenn, someone was asking the box, so I was telling the person to say it out. So that was what I was trying to say there. So, but all is in the box. You can put your question in the box for Ambassador Gletone to answer when it is time for question and answer. So thank you so much for that presentation, dear Honorable. God bless you so much. We are proceeding further. Is Dr. Yewande set again for the other speech? Are you set, or we move further to Mr. Dako Adefiseso?
Move on to Dako Adefiseso. Dako Adefiseso is a personal assistant, and he's having his master's in forensic accounting. That's why it's my personal assistant, because I'm looking for brains to repair, so I need someone to count my money as well. And this money is not missing. So
that's lovely.
So master's student, the Montfort University, forensic accounting. Thank you. Personal assistant to.
That's lovely. I think it's a good one meeting with brain repairer today. So it's a pleasure meeting you, dear Honorable Gabriel Adefiseso. It's over to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good day, everyone. My name is Gabriel Adefiseso. I'm currently a master's student at the Montfort University, United Kingdom. As everyone knows Dr. Mrs. Yewande, so there's no need to do any further ado. So yeah, I call. I believe everyone in this meeting knows why I'm here. I'm here to create an awareness in forensic accounting and why it's important in today's environment. First and foremost, what's forensic accounting? Forensic accounting is a discipline of accounting that investigates corporate and financial records to see if they contain evidences of fraud or money laundering or other crimes. The term forensic refers to conclusions that are belonging to or fit for the court of law, which is why accountants try to create findings that may be witnessed, that may be utilized in the courts. Here's a couple of reasons why I believe forensic accounting is important in today's environment. One, it assists to the investigation of financial fraud. As previously said, accounting can be quite useful to assisting in the investigation of financial crimes. Bribery in the government offices, as well as fraud and money laundering in businesses, are examples of types of crimes. First, forensic accounting aids to evidence collection, as well as the detection and identification of criminals. Number two, it aids financial management for organizations. Forensic accounting can be used by businesses to spot loopholes among their employees and third parties. For example, a corporation can hire a forensic accountant to examine an employee's purchase records to discover if all his purchases were for his business purposes or for his personal gain. Number three, which is rarely a case that no one knows, is the divorce cases. Finding and hiring a professional forensic accountant is critical when divorce proceedings involve vast and complex assets portfolios. If the parties have owned or have complex financial accounts, they must be reviewed by the accountant, who is trained to look for trends and abnormalities that indicate fraud. The final report could even be useful in the company, since it could point up potential leaks and opportunities for fraud. And the fourth and final one, for legal proceedings. The primary function of forensic accountant is to give evidence and presentation for legal proceedings. They have been educated to collaborate with attorneys and law enforcement to investigate financial data such as tax returns, debts, transaction, and international wire monetary transfers. They understand how to recognize embezzlement and asset inflation and money laundering. And also, I believe that forensic accounting should be promoted for young youths like me and everyone else, I believe, so that it's a way to curb and reduce crime around the whole world. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
All right, thank you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a wonderful one. Very brief from our dear brother, Ambassador at Davis as well. Thank you so much. You are being announced as PA, though there's no payment for advertisement. They've just advertised you as a PA to the president of International Human Rights Commission, Africa Diaspora. So thank you so much for having you on board, and that's a good one from you. Thank you so much. Mr. Apata, is he available? Please, can we put hands together for the honorable brother that I've just spoken now? Thank you so much. We are having you on board. Is Mr. Apata here with us? Mr. Apata, is he here with us?
Hello, sir. Mr. Apata teaches, is my Yoruba translator. I translate Yoruba, but I'm not a graduate of Yoruba language. So I write the scientific word in Yoruba and he cross-checks it that the Yoruba grammar is okay. So he's teaching advanced Yoruba, but there are people here who are from US, that want to understand Yoruba, because if we're having a science fiction movie, we are saying Captain Adedibura, people are picking African names. At least you should be able to say hello, in Ghana, hello, if you're in Sierra Leone, especially when we're talking rivers of Africa and you come out a river now, you can't say hello. We should just learn a little bit of African language. AHIABGA is here. She's the one that teaches Yoruba language to students in Canada and the US and UK. So she teaches them numbers in Yoruba. The way you start with a nursery school kid, that's how you have to start with an adult who's learning Yoruba for the first time, because Yoruba can be very difficult. It took me 6 weeks or more to write the Yoruba version of the book I wrote in 2 weeks in English, French, and Spanish. So I will let AHIABGA start with how you read to beginners in Yoruba, and then if Mr. Akpata is not here, I will have to read how you read scientific Yoruba now, not just Yoruba, but the science one. So we'll do the language version now of anesthetic pharmacology 101, the Yoruba you need to speak with patients in the hospital. So ask, she's Dorcas Ayomike Awankwo. Is she ready?
Is she here with us? Dorcas Ayomide, is she here with us, please?
Okay, yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, over to you. All right. Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me? Good day, everybody. My name is Ayomike Awankwo. I'm a teacher. I teach children Yoruba language, children in diaspora, children all over the world that want to learn Yoruba language, basically from age 4 to age 18. So what we do, and aside that, I also work with children that has learning disability, but majorly I'm a teacher, so I think I can do both. If you're wondering how I do both together, I can actually do that because I'm a trained teacher, I'm a licensed teacher, and I'm also a language teacher. Fine, for Yoruba language, when we start teaching Yoruba language to kids of that age, of age 4, like I said, we usually start at age 4 because at that time, you can get them to learn new things. You can get, they're interested. First, they want to, they're wondering what that language is, something that is different from English. So we usually start with, first, we get acquainted with them. We start with introducing self-introduction, introducing themselves. They learn Yoruba language by first introducing yourself. You can't be a Yoruba, you can't be a Nigerian and you're a Yoruba, you are from the Yoruba tribe, and if you tell anybody you are Yoruba, you should be able to introduce yourself. So the first thing we start with is to teach them how to introduce themselves. Kini oruko e, my name is, just the basic things that children learn in English. My name is so. I am introducing yourself, their age, where they are from, their nationality, where they live, and all that. It's usually interesting for them when they do that. From there, we move on to greetings, basically, because if you can introduce yourself, you should also be able to greet. And when they're in diaspora, greeting is very important to people from this part of the world. For Africans, we know our culture, we really value greetings and all, respect and all. So we move on to greeting because that's the next point of, so we teach them how to greet in Yoruba language, and from there we move on to so many other topics. And also, because of the peculiarity of the age we are teaching, we also adopt, we use different methods, we use visuals to teach while we do this. We use a lot of visuals to help understanding, to aid understanding and all. We use a lot of, we use music, songs, we teach them using songs and other methods, other teaching methodologies that would make learning interesting and fun for them. So that is the aspect of teaching Yoruba language to kids in diaspora. But majorly, it's for kids in the diaspora because they are the one that doesn't have access to daily, to speaking this language daily and often. So most of the clients we have are clients in the diaspora. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask me. And basically, that's what I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a good one and very short as well. Thank you so much for having you, Mrs. Ayomide. Is a good one to have it. Ayomide. Oh, wow, that's good. Thank you so much for coming on board, Mrs. Ayomide. Thanks for that correction. Now we are expecting Mrs. Oluwatoyin Joseph, if she's there with us. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Joseph.
Dame
Oluwatoyin.
Dame Oluwatoyin Joseph.
Dame Oluwatoyin Joseph. So that dame must be there. All right. Mrs. Dame Oluwatoyin Joseph, are you here with us, please? Over to you, please.
Hello, ma. Hello, ma. Our presentation has been sent. However, you're having issues with connection. So she's trying to talk to students about how to choose careers in nursing. That's why I said all videos by STEM ambassadors will be sent out. So we have somebody talking about children in US prisons, access to healthcare. We have somebody talking about climate change. We have somebody talking about neurological disorders, and we have the Moluwatoyin's video, talking about choosing careers in nursing. So because we don't want to waste so much time, her video has been sent out. So she's a nurse, and of course she will start with the story of Florence Nightingale and all of that. So we really appreciate her. She's really been supportive on this project. When we say we need teenagers, she'll go and recruit for us. And that's why we can now say we have a movie, science fiction movie. That's why we are really trying to hit this Yoruba language for healthcare workers. One thing AHIABGA did not say is that this book, Yoruba language for healthcare workers, sometimes she's able to teach nurses in the diaspora as well, because they too are also beginners. So she can use this book, because of course it was written by somebody in the healthcare sector. So all she has to do is to read it. It makes sense in Yoruba language, and she can, read to enough. So that's what we want our translators to do. We don't want translators that, Yoruba, you go and tell your patient something else, and the patient this does not, improve physician-patient experience. So my proposal, therefore, is that all students coming in for 2022-2023 session should have multiple proficiency. English, and we know that African children already speak maybe English and Yoruba, or English and Igbo. No, that's not what we want. We know you're already speaking English and Igbo. We want you to add something to it. Add French, add Spanish. Don't travel to Europe on scholarship and you get there, you failed. Of course you will, because you didn't learn the language. That's the first thing you should have done. It's like getting into a car, you're not reading the manual, you're not reading anything. Of course it won't end well. So we don't jump around. Let me just do the Yoruba. So we know we're out for that Yoruba language. And I think the next one should be Dr. Tego and book launch. So this is how an advanced Yoruba healthcare worker should read, so that when you're taking informed consent from your patient, you're doing the right thing. So I will read the history of research, anesthetic research globally. So you might not understand anything, but you might be hearing the name of your country. So just let's do that while the other speakers are coming. Today we are celebrating this Yoruba language for healthcare workers because of the movie Captain Adediwura. When we have science fiction movie and students come from Delta, we don't want to screen them out because they can't speak in Yoruba. They will just be the people that say, oh, hello, ekaro, just little thing. So I will read and then we'll see if somebody else, Mr. Apata, is here. Otherwise, we'll move to the book launch. And there's still one more speaker, Dr. Tego, that's University of Ghana lecturer. This is it is anesthetic pharmacology. Ẹ̀kọ́ nípa oògùn akuniloorun apá kìíní, Yoruba language for healthcare workers, láti ọwọ́ Yewande Okunlọ́run Oyèkẹ́nu. Òun lẹ ti ń dúró de o, ó ti jáde, ó wà ní Lulu bookstores, North Carolina àti Amazon. Máa ṣe àǹfààní díẹ̀ fún yín, máa ka díẹ̀ nú ẹ̀. Orí kìíní, ìyàtọ̀ láàrin akọ tàbí abo pẹ̀lú ìyàtọ̀ nínú àwọ̀ ara lórí ìmúláradá lẹ́yìn oògùn akuniloorun fún iṣẹ́ abẹ ní ọdún 2001. Ọ̀tọ̀lani Conti ẹ̀tọ́ 2001 sọ pé àwọn ọmọ Áfíríkà 15 aláwọ̀ dúdú orílẹ̀-èdè Senegal gba àkókò kí wọ́n tó jí padà lẹ́yìn oògùn akuniloorun propofol fún iṣẹ́ abẹ, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun 15 láti orílẹ̀-èdè Italy tí wọ́n kópa nínú ìwádìí yìí ṣáájú àwọn aláwọ̀ dúdú jí padà lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ abẹ pẹ̀lú propofol. Ọ̀tọ̀lani Conti Sọ́lẹ̀tọ̀ 2001 ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ní àkókò yìí kan náà, ni àwọn oníwádìí Miles et al. 2001 ṣe ìwádìí ní orílẹ̀-èdè Australia lórí ìyàtọ̀ láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nínú ìmúláradá ìwòsàn. Ìwádìí orílẹ̀-èdè Australia yìí ṣe àkíyèsí pé àwọn obìnrin máa ń ṣáájú àwọn ọkùnrin jí padà lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ abẹ, nígbà tí àwọn oníwádìí ṣe ìyẹ̀wò láàrin ọkùnrin mọ́kànlélógójìlélúgba ìyẹn 241 men àti obìnrin méjìlélógúnlélúgba 222 women. Àwọn oníwádìí yìí jẹ́ kí a mọ̀ pé àwọn aláìsàn ṣe la ojú wọn lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ abẹ. Èyí ni ó jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé àwọn obìnrin máa ń tètè jí lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ abẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ṣe àkíyèsí pé àwọn obìnrin máa ń ṣe àfisùn ẹ̀yìn ríro, orí fífọ́ àti èébì ju àwọn ọkùnrin lọ. Miles et al. 2001. Ìyàtọ̀ lè wá láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nípasẹ̀ bí omi ṣe pọ̀ ní ara àti bí oògùn ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ṣe ìwádìí ní àwọn onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ti ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n kò tíì sí ìmọ̀ àti àlàyé tí ó péye lórí nǹkan tí ó fa ìyàtọ̀ láàrin àwọn ènìyàn orílẹ̀-èdè tí ó ń sọ nípa wọn. Àlàyé lórí ìyàtọ̀ láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nípasẹ̀ bí oògùn akuniloorun ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́ lára ṣe pàtàkì. Ìwádìí tí Okunore-Oyekenu et al. 2014, that's my master's research at University of Ibadan, myself and others, láàrin ọkùnrin ogún àti obìnrin ogún fi hàn pé ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ìyàtọ̀ wà láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nípasẹ̀ ìmúláradá ìwòsàn lẹ́yìn lílo oògùn tí a fi ṣe iṣẹ́ abẹ. Oògùn akuniloorun lè fa ìdánidúró tí oògùn mìíràn bá tako rẹ̀. Nítorí ìdí èyí, àwọn dókítà gbọ́dọ̀ máa mọ ìgbà àti àkókò tí ó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe oògùn akuniloorun dúró. Ìyàtọ̀ tún wáyé láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin nípa bí aláìsàn ṣe ní ìrora sí ní oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà OP3 receptor, ìyẹn ti èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì Zubeta et al. 1999. Àwọn obìnrin nínú ìwádìí Okunore-Oyekenu et al. Sọ nípa ẹ̀yìn ríro, orí fífọ́ tí ó pọ̀ ju àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ọkùnrin lọ lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ abẹ. Àwọn obìnrin tí ó gba oògùn akuniloorun Tiopental sọ nípa ẹ̀yìn ríro àti orí fífọ́ pọ̀ jù fún àwọn ẹgbẹ́ obìnrin tiwọn. I wouldn't go too much into it. This is just some reflection on when I did my master's project at University of Ibadan. I found that I had to write my work into Yoruba translation to be able to recruit participants for study. What we are trying to do now is, if you've done your research, for instance, I'm Yoruba and I did my research in Yoruba land, though I had Black patients from all regions. Imagine now, I will just read the references. Of course, the references are in English because we have to keep it original. So to honor the Igbo people among us here, àwọn ìwé ìtọ́kasí ìyẹn references Ajuziegu, Amuchezi, Ezike, Aniwajobi, Gender Difference and Quality of Recovery After General Anesthesia, the Internet Journal of Anesthesiology. Please, we want Ezike, Nwajobi, and Amuchezi, please. People like that, they should write their own Igbo language for healthcare workers and put in the library. If we go to other countries, we'll find things like that. So the little I can do is this Yoruba one. The English one, I have UK and US version, pharmacologic explanation for the observed gender difference in recovery from anesthesia. This is not an anesthetic class, I would have read it, but we just want you to appreciate language, because this pandemic, we suffered a lot because healthcare workers couldn't speak the language of their patients and translators could not move around because of lockdown. In French, explication pharmacologique de la différence des génères observée dans la récupération de l'anesthésie, pharmacologie anesthésique 101. In Spanish, for our Mexican neighbors and Californians, Spanish-speaking doctors, I will try. Explicación farmacológica de la diferencia de género observada en la recuperación de anesthesia, pharmacologia anesthesica 101. Yewande Okunore-Oyekenu, proudly from California, Southern California. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. That's so lovely. We can hear that different languages. In fact, it is a loving and a very good one. And she's teaching us how to learn different languages. No, do not rely on your language, your local language. You have to advance more to other languages. So wherever you are in the world, you fit yourself in. So thank you so much for that, Dr. Yewande. And if you have to get that book, she had just read fear of it. It is going to be shared with us the link where you can get the book. And as part of the book, we are launching that book, especially to those that are in healthcare session. Please, in the box, you will see the link where to get the book, and as well to get the book, you will see the link on how to purchase the book. So thank you so much for having you on board, Dr. Yewande, and for this you have put together for the others to share in this experience when it comes to healthcare services. So thank you so much. God bless you. And we are proceeding further. Here with me, I have Dr. Thomas Tagoe. Is he with us? And if not, we still have some others we are going to call on board, and some authors that have joined us. We would like to hear from them briefly about the book they've written and few ideas they could share with us, and how to get the books that will be submitted to the Global Community Library, because we are projecting a Global Community Library where we can have books that anyone can come and get or learn from. So we have already started that project. If you are author in the house, prepare yourself. We are going to talk to us, share your idea about the books you have written, either science or not, either education or not. We just want to hear from you the books you have written so far. So thank you so much. Is Dr. Thomas here with us? Dr. Thomas, is he here with us?
His video has been sent, sir.
All right, he's not here with us.
I don't know if you are able to play his video, if your network is good now.
Which of the video, please?
The very first one, the STEM one.
All right, I have one here.
I think we can send that video out, sir. If it's not playing, we can send it out. So there are about 5 videos.
Geoscientific is an organization that's focused on building fantastic STEM spaces through public engagement and outreach activities. We believe that every level of academic level, right, primary, any graduates, any career professionals, what they need is very different. So we try to create programs that's tailor-made for each state. I believe in practical STEM education because how else I supposed to extend? Once you experience it, you feel it, you see it for yourself, and it never becomes a question about remembering anymore, but really just sharing your experience. It's important to Geoscientific that young Ghanaians develop practical STEM knowledge because they are the ones that are going to be living in the future which is uncertain and yet undefined. The practical STEM knowledge and skills, it means not only can you solve the problems that come in this future, but it can help create this future in a way that will benefit us all. J for STEM.
Is your organization making meaningful contributions in practical science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, in the learning space and in education in general? Or are you a change maker who is promoting or using STEM to accelerate Ghana's development? Let us share your unique way of using STEM with the world. Reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at We Go Innovate, or visit our website at www.wegoinnovate.com.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for that. We'll share the link with you because we can't see the video. We'll
Yes.
share that video with everyone.
Yes, I was going to say in the Life of a Scientist, Captain Adediwura movie, the reason why we are talking about Yoruba today is because I'm the first scientist, and that's why I represented neuroscience, which is what I'm representing in the movie. And Dr. Thomas Tego got his PhD at the age of 26, as I said, and is a male neuroscientist. However, he teaches all STEM subjects. I mean, being a lecturer at a university, he knows what you need to get admitted. So it's easy for him. And that's social life he has. You know, it's not just book, 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 book. When we were both studying in the UK and they are playing football, we just laugh. But when it's Nigeria and Ghana, we dare not sit beside each other. So that's what we want these children to see. So he is the scientist representing Ghana. So when you see me reading all languages, he might have his own way of teaching students, of course. I'm a female and he is a male, so we might have different strategy. We all know that. So he's the second scientist on board. So when I say vessel number 001 at Tediwura, ready to depart, or if I say, if anything happens to me, meet me at vessel number 002 Kwame. So that's our vessel number 002 Kwame. So he will be grooming students as well. And then when vessel number 002 is over, if anything happens, you go to vessel number 1 raised to power astronomy, which is our student in aerospace engineering, aspiring aerospace engineer, Abidobo Yekeno. She will be teaching teenagers as well. Because honestly, this pandemic, it's had a funny turn. These children, they didn't have opportunity to get vaccinated. They were the last, you know, when it came to care, because people were careful with children. But at the end of the day, it was, you know, we adults that were rushing for vaccine that it didn't end well. So the STEM engagement is not just teaching them things, but making them aware of the environment. If you have a kid to draw something scientific, now at least 90 out of 100 of them will draw something that looks like coronavirus. Imagine a 5-year-old, this was his design, and now this is our Benjamin clothing line. This is a face pack. We call it the coronavirus generation. So that when we are gone, if anything happens again, God forbid, another pandemic, this is a 5-year-old boy. When I say, oh, why are you not going out today? He says, oh, there's coronavirus outside. I'm not going out. Imagine that. So if anything happens and they see themselves in a picture in Italy, Spain, Nigeria, Ghana, you have this picture too. So this is the, you know, how we are remembering. So any child that is, you know, wearing this t-shirt and 20 years to come and they see, they'll remember, oh, you were also there when it happened. Imagine now 50 years and they say, oh, how did you cope? Oh, my mom never let us go out, because that mom has gone, but they've instilled it in them that, oh, coronavirus, you have to wear mask, you have to wash your hand. I don't know, maybe it's the washing of hands or getting used to being dirty. I don't know, but the kids survived, and we thank God it wasn't, you know, adults survived, kids, you know, didn't, but we thank God. So this is for age 3 to 4. For our coronavirus generation package. So it's going to be, instead of people giving out money to charity and there's problem, you see my PA is forensic accounting. Imagine somebody asked me for money and the little I have, I give, and I found out it was squandered. It's trouble, because before you call human rights, you too must be right. So this is age 3 to 4. So instead of asking for cash, we are now doing some kind of trade by barter. If I give you shirts, what will you give me? You know, this is age for 7 to 8 for primary school. And then we have, you know, for secondary school as well. So please, let's educate these children now, because we can't allow this pandemic situation to continue. So this is for secondary school, and it stops at age 16. And then age 16 to 18 will be the one for the science fiction movie. All races welcome. The reason we focused on Yoruba is because we are celebrating Martin Luther King. And because of the Roots story and everything, there are some people that when they see the Roots movie, they don't want to watch it. I mean, it could be depressing, but we're trying to bring it, okay, when this thing happened, it was around West Africa, Nigeria. Ghana, Sierra Leone, those areas are, that's why we're using rivers to part our way. Nobody prays for evil, but if somebody comes again for slave trade, at least you can jump out of the ship and swim, find yourself back in Lagos, if you know what I mean. So horrible things have happened to us, horrible histories. We don't pray for them anymore. So for Black people, that was our own coronavirus pandemic. And now we found out that Africa survived in spite of vaccine hesitancy. They survived. So thank you very much. And I think that's what I have to say on behalf of myself and my team at Wendy Lauren Medical Research. Over to you, Chaplain. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for that. It's a great addition you have just done, and to cover up for the ambassador we are expecting. So thank you for that. We will not waste our time. I've seen an author in the house, and the person of Christy Butler. I know she has written so many books concerning conflict resolution and other books she has written. If you are here with us, please can we just hear briefly from you about the books you have written so far, and which one are you giving out to us to be submitted to the Global Community Library? Over to you, Christy Butler, if you are still here with us.
Yes, I'm here. Greetings to everyone. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. So far, I have written 3 books, and I did the revised edition. That's my latest book on peace and conflict resolution. The first 2 books I wrote, those ones are based on faith, like how to grow your faith, how to relate with people, how to relate with God, and how to grow spiritually. And then the latest one, which is Peace, Conflict, and Life, is the one that I would love to share from. And I believe that everybody wants to enjoy peace at all levels, starting from a personal level to the state level. So I believe that this latest one is something that everybody should read, so to learn things that would help them deal with issues the right way, so to promote peace in their lives. And so that is it. That's it. I don't know how. I have the book in hard copy and I have it in soft copy too. I don't know which one to donate, if it's the hard copy that you want me to donate or the soft copy.
Okay, thank you for that. Since you are in Nigeria, we prefer hard copy. Though you have brought some ones here and you have already shared it to some NGO directors that came for World Humanitarian Day. I was there when you were sharing that, but we still need more copies to pay in Global Community Library. So you're going to work towards that. Okay. All those your 3 books we can have there. So thank you so much for coming on board and for those you have shared with us and the books you have written. We believe you are going to write more. So the more you write, the more you submit to the library. So thank you so much.
I'll be glad to do that.
Dr. Yewande is another author coming from Nigeria, Christy Butler. She has written about 3 books, as she has said. So it's a pleasure meeting with Dr. Yewande today too. Well, thank you. And we are still waiting for others to hear from them, those that have written books as well. So thank you, Ambassador Christy Butler.
Thank you, sir.
Please, from Italy, I have Gemma Garcia. If you are here with us and you can mute yourself, let's hear from you. If you have written books or not, we just have to hear from you, because yesterday you are here with us and today you are here with us too. So we have to honor you for that, to hear from you. Okay, this is Butler sharing a screen. This is our books, Peace, Conflict, and Life. You can see how beautiful the books are. So this is lovely from you, Christy Butler. So this is a wonderful one. Thank you for sharing this with us. Yeah, we can hear from you now from Italy, Gemma Garcia.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Gemma Garcia. I'm actually part of the UnityNet global network, and I am connected to this forum through the network, Andrew's network, and through the Turtle Land. Specifically, I have to correct, let's see, so yeah, I'm actually connecting from the, yeah, I kind of like lost track of the attendees into this session, so I cannot properly say the names, but I am actually connected from Canada, and there is a city in Italy that is called Caligari. So, but I'm in the province of Alberta that is kind of located in the west of Canada. So I'm happy to join today and yesterday as part of this forum on peace, as all the sessions are so varied, engaging, and stimulating. And I have to say, like, so far, my work is actually like, I don't work in the non-for-profits area. So in the past, I worked for post-secondary education, and my publications are related to my area of specialization, which is in the Latin American contemporary poetry in Spanish. So I have published a number of articles on poets ranging from Chile, Argentina, and Spain that wrote in the 20th century mainly, and for like specifically dealing with like poetry and relations to society in times of dictatorship in the South Cone. So how violence happening at the societal community level affects the national representation of ideas of how do people like relate to their nation in terms of violence, as I mean society gets completely atomized, microorganized, and people cannot turn to extra individual aims, mainly for reasons of control, government control. So this was happening in the South Cone in the decades of 1970s, 1980s. And so my articles, I mean, relating to violence as it is expressed in these South Cone poets from Chile and Argentina. So talks about like how, I mean, artists and poets in general express and channel their pain and their memories of violent times and their dictatorship, political dictatorship in their own poetic expressions. And so additionally, like I have written my own poetry. So I have published a book that is called The Thin Red Line, and it's a Spanish, English, bilingual poetry collection that I wrote with cultural bridging different poetic traditions, including Hafiz, which is a known Persian poet from the 13th century, and he has been widely translated to English and any other language. So my conversation and my interest in Hafiz relies in his faithful and kind of like in his relation to mystic relationship to things, to his environment, by understanding an inclusive view of the world from a conversation with God that keeps like him close and connected to his everyday things ongoing in his life. So for me, that was stimulating to write my own book at a time of personal crisis, because for me, what is important on Hafiz is that he actually speaks of equality and equality between people, on the sense of like we are all equal on the eyes of God and from a creation perspective. So Hafiz actually wrote from the mystic Sufi, which relates to Quran, tradition. And interestingly, I mean, Hafiz has so many connections throughout the world for that reason, because his mysticisms like applies on how to kind of like traditional old ancient ideas rooted in Christianity as well, and in Hinduism as well as their cosmovisions. So, and more recently, I have written a chapbook in Spanish that is called or entitled Sol de Nagano. And this is a book that I presented locally through the Casa Mexico, which is like a cultural association working in Alberta to promote Latin American culture to the community and to feature and represent like our own traditional expressions of culture. So Casa Mexico is very active cultural community in Alberta, and I was fortunate to present my book, which is entitled Sol de Nagano. And at that time, I just wrote my expressions of, let's say, like connecting several events happening internationally during the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, when I published the book. And as it kind of like push and reassess individuals to reassess priorities in your personal life and how we organize and connect to spaces throughout the house, and with like community outlets being shut down and closed, so with less outlets to connect to our community. There are like populations that became more vulnerable, like Black African Americans in the US, elderly, and I mean older people in Canada and in my community. They have like less ways to connect with their everyday communities, and they really need to communicate on an everyday basis. So I mean, as much as like somewhere in our presentation was saying today that, I mean, connecting to youth and mentoring is so important because like they have the seeds for future and for peace. Also like taking care of communities that are more vulnerable during times of pandemic, because they are left out of community outlets on an everyday basis and from being social, and they have to connect to a technological outlet. Additionally, new channels that represent a technological barrier in some chances, or in some cases. Not everyone has, we cannot take online connectivity for granted. So my book basically, I mean, talk about my own experiences dealing with pandemic, how did it affected people that I know, like how do I connect with events ongoing throughout the world, including like Capitol Hill, and it has an Eastern title because an Eastern Asian title, like Nagano is a place in Japan that actually, again, like it brings us to the idea of like dual, the way that we live with modern society and postmodern society is like a dual mode of operation, which push us to be healing. Like we have to heal from events happening in the past, during pandemic, and we have to deal with modernity, and we have to integrate traditional concepts that come from, like, we inherited from our legacy of culture that may be more or less traditional. In the case of Hispanic culture, like we have integrated to global communications through Spanish being a language of transmission of cultures as well, just like French and English and Chinese Mandarin in many cases. So, but in the sense of like on a personal level, like Japanese Nagano is close to the mountain of Fuji, and it, for me, like in my book, represent that idea of healing. Like during pandemic, we have to be constantly healing ourselves from everything that had changed, and we have to adjust to new times, new ways to connect, to relate to other people through the screen, which is not natural to humans. And it had to be a fast adaptation, like society expects us to adapt quickly. So that's what I wrote about in my poems in Sol de Nagano, which is accessible online as well. I can share the link on my author's website. So it was a great presentation because I love to talk about like cultural onsets abroad. In this case, like I spoke about Korean, North American, US communities that have to deal with like exclusion as well. So I like, in my books, I mainly like they're about culture, and I like bringing up like cultural nuances that are interesting, differently relevant to our everyday experience, because we can always learn from other people's cultures. And I'm glad to kind of like be in this conference for peace, because it just like helps in this idea of healing and so many paths for action and moving forward and opportunities for interaction. So thank you.
That's a good one from you, from Italy. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on board, Gemma Garcia. Thank you so much. You've been with us since yesterday today. Thank you so much for having you on board, and that's a very good one from you. Thank you. I would like to call and to just hear from Mr. Kehinde Shomoye. I've been seeing him. He was here with us yesterday and today again. Please, can you unmute yourself and say something, please?
Dr.
Unmute
Kehinde
yourself and say something.
It's Dr. Kehinde Shomoye, please.
Oh, thank you for that. We are having more doctors in the house. Dr. Kehinde Shomoye, please pardon me for that, because I'm just saying Kehinde Shomoye here and we are just meeting for the first time. So Dr. Kehinde Shomoye, please, can you unmute yourself? Let's hear from you, please.
Hello, good morning or good afternoon. Please, I'm unable to say much. I'm listening, but also engaged over air. So in fact, I had to cut short my involvement here when I had my name called, so I would not be able to say much. I'm just grateful to the organizers of this 3-day event. I'm grateful to the participants. All the presenters, the speakers have been excellent. I've gained a lot listening since yesterday, and hope to join you tomorrow too. So thank you very much.
Wow, that's so brave and very short. Thank you so much, sir, for having you on board and for listening to us, joining us. And despite the fact you're busy, engaged, you are still here with us. So we really appreciate your efforts, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you. And now, yesterday, we talked about quality education and WHOPE project. Today, I'm very happy to show to you and announce to you the man in charge of that project was show you yesterday. It was shown purposely for us to know what we have done so far when it comes to educational project we are having in Badagry, Okujo Badagry. We have the couple that we put in charge of that school because they stay in that community as well. They clean water for the community, and the school that is on, the project is on already. Some part has been completed, while some are yet to be completed. No facility like the computers and other gadgets, other things we need to enhance the learning in the school. None of them has been put in place yet. We are working more. That's why we need more support. I would like to bring them on board, at least to say one of the things concerning that project going on in Okujo Badagry. I'm having with me here today His Excellency Ambassador Godwin Ofiong and the wife, which have been really working with us. They are all official of World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity, and they stay in that jurisdiction, and that's why they are overseeing that project. Over to you, Ambassador Godwin Ofiong. What can you say about the project going on in Badagry? Unmute yourself, we can hear. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening.
I can hear you now.
Good evening. I am Ambassador Dr. Godwin Offiong, speaking right away from Badagry, Lagos State, in Okuju local government, Okuju community of Badagry local government. Talking about the Amazing Eagle School project, it has been our dream, our passion to contribute to the educational advancement of the kids. We are focusing right away on the less privileged, particularly those that lost their parents, and the possibility of these children going to school becomes difficult. So as a humanitarian, I and my wife soared into this understanding of the situation at hand, particularly in our community that we have the school. So that was what brought the idea of the school 2015. So as at this level, we have gone so far. The first thing we did was to put up the school structure that can accommodate at least 2 classrooms for some few of the pupils. And then we move again to provision of a borehole water for their sustainability. And we want to also try to complete at the moment the remaining 2 classroom blocks and administrative offices, so as to enhance the efficiency of the school. My wife has been with me in this vision, and we are so much interested to make sure that all that we had envisaged for the school must surely come to pass. So we have put in a lot of income, sacrifices, and all of that. But you know, like any situation, any project, we cannot do it all alone. So we love good-spirited people in this body all around the world to come in and then assist us to let these children to have a future. That's what I can take for the moment. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Much has been said yesterday concerning that school. Even the pictures of those schools has been shown to everyone in the house. All we need is support for the less privileged in Badagry. They have to get their own quality education as well. Most of them are home, they're not going to school. So we have to be visiting one home or the other to bring them out to attend the school. And other schools have been far away from that place. Number one, they were unable to pay school fees. Number two, they were unable to take transportation. So they were just at home. That's why we are coming up with this project to help that community to get the school done. So we need your support from all over the world. We'll be dropping details here, information for any support of whatsoever that will be coming from any one of us. So thank you so much. We can have the wife here. They are both on that project. This is Dr.
Mrs.
Godwin.
Pastor Mrs. Godwin.
It's the Godwin. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, you want to say something?
1 or 2 minutes, please. Introduce yourself, please. Can we meet you? We know we just retired from FRLC. All right. Can we hear you, please?
Okay. By introducing myself, I'm Pastor Mrs. Ime Godwin Offiong. I'm very happy to meet you. And just as my husband has stated, we are committed to this a job of assisting people around in our community, especially those, some of them, they are single parents, and some of them, they find it difficult to have the education, but we are proud. For the few years we had started, we have produced many of them from primary school to secondary school, and they are doing well. So we believe that God will continue to help us on the project. We will complete it, and it will be soon. by the grace of God. That's what I can say for now.
Thank you so much. It's a good one hearing from you and the husband concerning the project we're having in Badagry. So thank you so much for having you on board. I know God will touch the heart of those that will support the project, and it's ongoing already. So thank you so much. God bless you. We are proceeding further again to the program for today. We have just heard briefly the book that Dr. Yewande have read to us. There are some other books she's having that we would like to talk about now and give a good launching, because we have to launch all these books. And I would like Ambassador Sulaiman from Sudan to anchor that session now, that book launch. You have to talk, say something about it. Let's hear you, then we are to launch that. Thank you so much. Ambassador Ofion, you can mute yourself now. Dr. Yewande, we can hear you. I can see you on mute.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now, sir?
We can hear you now.
Yes. As teachers, everybody would have seen I've done a lot of illustration. I started with a magazine for teenagers. All these books were just those books written last year. Life of a Scientist. The best way to learn about science is to learn from your teacher. We don't want kids watching science fiction movies and they come to class and I ask the question, they're telling me what happened in Star Wars. I mean, you're talking of your O levels, your A levels, you're asking what happened in Star Wars, Spider-Man. Science fiction is good, you know, but we need scientists to be on producing films before science fiction movies released. So this is, if you can see my poster, we have cancer and we have Alzheimer's. So because I'm into neuroscience, that's why I'm teaching that. So the kids doing Life of a Scientist, Captain Adediwura movie will be divided into rivers of Africa for those that want to be on land, and those that want to be in space will be divided into space mission. So for parents who are here, teachers who are here, get your kids ready. We'll be auditioning for science fiction movie on the 13th of February, Kings and Queens Ball. They can represent any kingdom. I will be representing United Kingdom, and I've already started, you know, preparing my vessel. So this is it, United Kingdom. That's me representing United Kingdom. Vessel number 001 is a plane. Vessel number 002 is a ship, and vessel 1 raised to the power of infinity. For math teachers that are here, 1 times 1 million, what does it give you? So people in space, they don't obey the law of gravity and all of that, so their mathematical calculations are different. So that's about the magazine, and we have 2022 calendar, which are just pictures I took, scientific pictures. So I will start. We have the UK and the US pharmacologic explanation for the observed gender difference in recovery from anesthesia, anesthetic pharmacology 101. It just talks about differences in recovery from anesthesia. This is for general public, and we have the tutor's version, because if you're going to take somebody into surgery and your student is there with you, you have to teach them before going in. And then we have the Yoruba one, which I read, Yoruba language for healthcare workers. I don't know. My stand is at the venue. My stand is in Lagos. If somebody can, you know, do that as well. So all the books are there on the stand. So what is the difference between Ogun and Ogun Akonilorun? Ogun is that one you take when you can't sleep. The doctor gives you something, just sleep. And Ogun Akonilorun is the one that sends you to coma, you know. So they can perform surgery, you're unconscious. So sleep and unconsciousness is defined in Yoruba language for our Yoruba healthcare workers or Igbo who are working in places like UCH and need a bit of Yoruba knowledge. We have the French, which I said, explication pharmacologique de la différence des génies observés dans la récupération de l'anesthésie, pharmacologie anesthésique 101. All these books were published in 2021. Explicación farmacológica de la diferencia general observada en la recuperación de la anestesia. Pharmacologia anesthesia 101, that's the Spanish one. The reason we have that is because African Americans, we did the Yoruba for the French for our Canadian neighbors and the Spanish for our Mexican neighbors, because when you get to a place and you're having problems with your neighbors, we all know what it means. So for the healthcare management section now, that's just to train our future doctors, because when they come in next session, they must be able to speak Yoruba. So if you want a teenager to speak Yoruba, just ask him what happened in the hospital today. Don't say it in English, say it in your language, unless you won't pass. Of course, they will be forced to learn. So because they definitely want to study medicine and will do anything to get there. Healthcare management books now. Keys to successful leadership in healthcare settings. And we have that on ebook and paperback. So we are focusing on the paperback because the donation mostly is going to go to Africa. Risk management in healthcare settings. Strategic management for global business leaders. It has year 3000 on it, meaning that for many centuries to come, people who are alive by then would have something to look if the books have not been banned or they're still there. So then this one, it combines economics and marketing for healthcare professionals, economic evaluation and marketing for healthcare professionals. So I have 10 publications. I will be donating 3 copies of each. That's 30 books to the Global Library for WHOPE. I have said I will give 10 science magazines to Pray Motion and another 10 science magazines to Mr. Zimi. So the reason why we are giving Pray Motion is because it's space and is going to be mentoring kids that want to do space mission. Mr. Zimiso will be working with kids that want to do Rivers of Africa project. So we have something for their mentors as well. Chapter 2 of this talk about access to healthcare for children in US prisons. So is Mr. Glenn still here? Mr. Glenn Turner. Yes, he is. Yes. So the award for mentorship prize, economic evaluation and marketing for healthcare professionals. If you want to go and do motivational talk somewhere, and people there don't need your motivation, you're just wasting your time. But if you want to know motivation, Mr. Glenn will tell you everything. So we need to appreciate our mentors as well. That's why you see this graph there, and statistical reasons, how many people were in prison, was it more Latino, was it more Black, or are we just assuming that we are being abused when it's the other way around? We really don't know. So we need to do our findings and get the facts right. And the prize for mentorship for Rivers of Africa, because it contains climate change and other issues, strategic management for global business leaders for Mr. Zimi. So we will be talking Rivers of Africa. He's from Zimbabwe, he's British as well, and he can train the kids. So I will be the scientist, and for Rivers of Africa, for Space Mission, Dr. Thomas Tego will be the scientist. We'll all train together, and our public speaker, Mrs. Okoyemi Peregrino, would also be there. So myself, I am the Director General of Operations, International Human Rights Commission, African Diaspora, and President to Europe, African Diaspora International Human Rights Commission. Dr. Tego is also going to be on board, and Mrs. Okoyemi Peregrino. So Dr. Tego is a graduate of University of Leicester back in Ghana, but still has his international presence. And Mrs. Okoyemi Peregrino is a graduate of University of Hull, UK, and still has an international presence. So bring your kids and, let them come and know and say that 2 cells, when they are confused, what is a cartilage? Chondroblast, osteoblast. It just means the cells that make up the bone, osteoblast, chondroblast, osteoblast, and then, little things like that, they need to pick it up. So I really thank everybody that's come here today, especially my fellow authors. When you are the only one writing, especially if you're a journalist, you know how it is, you're writing, everybody, what is she writing? Are you the only one saying the story that happened? But I thank my fellow authors who have come from various countries, especially I thank Chaplain Dr. James Obatumibi, the host. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow we will be writing a book together, and that book is highly classified. It's Healthcare Law and Malpractice, a Global Perspective. We don't want to write the book and somebody will review it and say something wrong. So the book has a cover page and that's it, and a title. So the chapters are there. We are going to pick chapters. So if you're interested in being a reviewer or an author, co-author of a chapter, please let us know. So that's the title, Healthcare Law and Malpractice, a Global Perspective. And I hope I will be able to table it under the International Human Rights Commission as my project for the year. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Dr. Yewande, for those books you have shown and you have equally read to us. We appreciate you so much. And it's over to Ambassador Sulaiman from Sweden to take over the launching proper. Thank you so much. And thank you for donating to World Community Library. We really appreciate that. And we're encouraging everyone that is an author to send us books to help our communities. Let's develop reading culture. There was somebody that say, do Africa read? Africa do read. So we are creating a global community library where people can come to read anything that has to do with science, with education, and other sector as well. So thank you so much for donating those books to us. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ambassador Sulaiman.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello,
we can hear you.
Me? Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay. We have to maintain the goals for SDG sustainable through the peace and through the education. And I would like to know from our panelists that the contribution hours for the teaching, because this is will improve the high quality of education. And regarding the capacity building, always when we maintain the capacity building, that is going to support for high performance. And that is need support. So for our panelists today, please kindly, I would like to know your contribution hours for teaching. So that is going to add quality for the education as a base, one of SDGs. And also when we have high quality performance, that means the skills will be high. Like for example, if we go to any science branch, healthcare, engineering, whatever the type of, we need to maintain that. So I would like to participant of today and panelists, please kindly. Over to you, Mr. James. Can you hear me? Hello?
We are here, we can hear you. All right, thank you so much. If we have anyone that is willing to get those copies of those books, please just get to the chat room and see the link. You can get it right there. And if you have to donate, launch any of the books, please go to the chat and drop something, your message there. It will be surely read and we'll surely get back to you. So thank you so much. There are links there for the books and where to pay or where we have to donate. Do not forget, this book launching is to support humanitarian projects. We have several humanitarian projects that we have embarked on from WHOPE, Promotion and other organizations that are coming together to make this program a unique one. So let's do our best for humanity. So thank you so much. And Dr. Yuande, you are expected to drop those links now. You're expected to do that now. As we have said earlier on, as an author, we are expecting books from you. So the Global Community Library, we want to make it run. We want to make it work. And we want to make it a reality that people could come, read, study, share experience together on what you have written. So let people say about you. Today we are having this public lecture because of Martin Luther King, of what he has done so far. So you too, as you're writing, put it in mind that one day somebody will pick up that book and read. Somebody will get knowledge and understanding from you. So let's do our best for others to respect and commemorate us later when even we are no more, but our book lives on. So thank you. We are appreciating you. From the chat, you can see the paper there. If you have to donate, if you have to purchase, and if you have to launch the book, we have it there already. And the link for where to get those books. There are more books. There are more books. Now depends on you which book you are getting from there. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Now, Coderina, I don't know if that company has any representative here. Coderina, do we have any representative from Coderina? Then it's Aina Prisesepi from South Africa. We're expecting her, but she's not here now.
Coderina is a robotics company. So they are going to be one of our projects, George. So the scientists are not, you know, partial. Maybe I like a science student and I want him on my team. So Coderina, they are into robotics. They will give the children robots to practice with. And for those that you don't just go and make it, you know, you must have a plane model, a car model, space model, spacecraft model. So they'll be using robots, and then those models will be submitted to companies, and the companies will actually produce those planes, because we've not got enough, you know, engineering sector things that we do in Africa. I think it's only South Africa. That's why I wanted Princess Sefi to anchor. She knows, you know, much about development, and South Africa has overtaken us, the rest of the African countries. So Coderina is a robotics company. For those that will be able to attend the Kings and Queens Ball, they will be the judge, and you will see how, you know, they do their thing. So the children will be learning with robots before they actually build their planes. So this might be like a one-year project. So before they even finish their first year in university, their first plane is ready. Their first ship is ready. Their first spacecraft is ready, and they can sell it. And you know what that means for an international student who's invested so much to go abroad and comes back home again looking for a job when those at home are still struggling. So that's what Coderina does. They have an engagement. I wouldn't want to say it, but they sent apologies, and they will join us, and they will be the judge for the science competition. So if you want your child to be selected, I'm not giving you expo. I'm just saying, let them know the kind of competition they are being auditioned for. So children that like playing with your Lego bricks, I want to build a house, I want to hair, those little ones, we want them. So they will be playing with robotics as the first day of the competition, and then they will be doing public speaking. I think Chaplain can show us around where they will be using for their public speaking. They will be acting as senators for each state in the US, and at some time they will act as presidents for each country in Africa. And then we'll have a global one, because I'm president for Europe. That's why we are using North America and Africa for now, because I think I have Europe covered already. Thank you.
All right, Thank you for that wonderful summit. It's a good one. And we have heard that so far. And as we have said, we'll be expecting them to still join us tomorrow if they are not able to join us now. And this is from Nigeria, World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity. We are putting this together to commemorate the great one, Martin Luther King Jr. And that's why we're putting this together as a conference, as a book launch. And we thank you for joining us. We love you. And we really appreciate your coming. And we can see some others joining us from South Africa. You're highly welcome. If either Big Land from South Africa, please can you just unmute yourself and say something from South Africa? Are you representing His Royal Highness Sepi, or you are here on your own good will and complaint?
Good
Can we hear
afternoon.
you, please?
Good afternoon, good evening. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Thank you so much for the welcome. I have been invited by Gemma. Thank you so much, but I also do represent South Africa, and I do serve on a mutual network, UnityNet, with Princess Tepi. But I would like to just share that I'm Heather Figeland, and I represent an organization called Amanzi for Life. And we are about reimagining a generation's thinking. So we have put together projects where we will go out to educare centers to teach children the importance of water. And we are very welcome to hear that this book launch is here and that there's a library. It's always good to recommend or to direct people to more literature. We firmly believe that knowledge is power. So thank you so much from my side. I'm Heather Figeland from South Africa.
All right, thank you. That's so lovely. We really appreciate and commend you for that. It's a loving one. Thank you for joining us once again. And we would like to hear His Highness Ambassador Andrew, if he's here with us before we round up the program. His Royal Highness Andrew Williams Jr., if you are here with us, please, can we hear you? So if it's not available, Dr. Yuande, do you have anything to say before we round up the program?
I would just say thank you as usual. You know, I'm just so excited for everybody coming. Those who came yesterday said they enjoyed it and sent messages. You know, this thing we're having is all about networking, bringing Glenn from California, bringing myself from, you know, International Human Rights Commission, bringing teachers, bringing principals and, you know, legal experts, human rights, healthcare workers. The reason we didn't survive this pandemic because it's still ongoing and, you know, we need to improve. So that's why we're having Global Library. If you've written something that's useful, just put it out there. Otherwise, WhatsApp is going to, you know, the way they just send messages and somebody says, oh, it's this, it's do this 5 times a day, your COVID will go away. We authors need to stand up. That's why we're having a Global Library. And I do hope you can pass the message around. And by the time we have the Kings and Queens Ball in another one month, 13th February, we will have more books. We are hoping to have 500 books. Let me say, that's my target. I hope we can get 500 because I've put down 30 books for Africa, 10 magazines for North America, and 10 magazines for UK and Africa. So that's 50, and other people have donated today. So I think we should do a count. So if we have that count and people know, oh, this book was donated, number of copies donated, it makes it credible, if you understand what I mean, than just saying, oh, books were donated. So I think, Chaplain, that's where we need to work on. So my figure is 50 books. I may not have cash, as Jesus said, but what I have, I give unto you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the loving one. Thank you so much, Dr. Yuande. Yes, as we're rounding up, I would like to say this for everyone joining us. The membership of World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity is open to everyone. If you wish to join us, please, that is why you are here. It is free for you to join WHOPE International. Our vision is to create a fair and sustainable world in which each person can live in peace, safety, and to be protected from poverty. And that's why we are putting this together. Our aims and objective is peace education through advocacy and public enlightenment. We promote fundamental human rights. We promote the United Nations Sustainable Development, different humanitarian projects. And the fifth goal is to support and collaborate, partner with all other organizations that share the same vision with us. So thank you so much for having you. If you wish to join us, you can do that right away. Through the email we're going to drop on the chat now. You can easily mail us there and send us your email and how you could join. So thank you so much for having you aboard. Everyone that has participated, that has spoken today, we so much appreciate you and we so much love you. Our motto is togetherness in humanitarianism. We cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. And that's why we're coming together to make a better world. So thank you for having you on board. Thank you so much. Ambassador Blair. Ambassador Blair, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Oh, please.
Yes, sir.
Are you on mute?
Officially, I want you to, as we move on.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch what you said. I'm listening.
Seems the network is bad. Our email is dropped on the chat box. You can mail us if you're willing to join WHOPE, wherever you are in the world. So thank you so much. Ambassador Glenn, maybe it's the network. So thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate you. So bye-bye for now till tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a wonderful one too. We have other alert programs, different from yesterday, different from today. So tomorrow we are going to learn more about Martin Luther King himself and other heroes we're having. So thank you so much. We are celebrating ourselves and we continue to celebrate ourselves. So bye-bye everyone from wherever you are in the world. You can unmute yourself and say bye-bye. Unmute yourself and say bye-bye as we're feeling well, as we're moving on. Just unmute yourself and say bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Hi, Gemma.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.